What's good, everybody? Is when I come back at y'all with another video. So with this video, I wanted to talk about conditions and why you need to make all conditions serve you. By conditions, I'm referring to your set of circumstances. I'm referring to your life situation, right? Because people have this tendency of allowing their conditions or the circumstances to dictate their lives. And it shouldn't be that way. It needs to be the opposite, right? You need to be the one in control because you ultimately create your circumstances. You create the conditions you live in your life. People will say, "Oh, I can't do this because of, my lack of education, right? I don't have a college degree. I can't do this because of the economy. I can't be successful because of the job market. I can't do this because of XYZ reasons," right? People use their conditions as excuses for why they're not progressing forward. And you need to understand that you are the creator of your life. You've created everything in your life. And if there's things that aren't there to your liking, you have the power to change it, right? And the first way is by making all conditions serve you. Now, before I actually truly jump into this video, I want to share a paragraph because I'm always constantly learning, always constantly growing, and I've rekindled my love for reading because I'm reading about things that I'm passionate about, and in this case, it's personal development, self-development, and to really get your mind right, right, and feeding your mind the right things and the right ideas. So here's an excerpt that's tied to conditions that I've been reading. Right, it says, "Make all conditions serve you, for that is what they are here to do. They are an experiential field created wholly for your enjoyment, self-discovery, and learning. This is because they are fashioned out of your previous thoughts, words, actions, and states of being." So the most powerful part of this are the first few words, which says, "Make all conditions serve you." See, what you need to understand about life is all about perspective. Life is all a game. It is all about perspective. You can see things from a positive perspective or from a negative perspective. I know the majority of people see things from a negative light, right? Because oftentimes they love speaking about drama, they love speaking about the problems of their life, and so that is what perpetuates these same issues because they're vibrating that negativity. If a problem happened in your life, chances are a quote unquote problem, right? Because there's no such thing as like actual problems. If a quote unquote problem happened in your life, usually you'll feel negative or mad or frustrated or any sort of negative emotions. So you're already feeling it because of the concern that was raised. Now, these same people will talk about it to their friends and family and keep sharing the same event that happened. So you're just reliving that same event and you're vibrating that same negative emotion nonstop. What you need to do is make each and every condition serve you. I'll give you an example, right? If you're watching this video, it's very likely that you remember the pandemic that happened 5 years ago, right? For most people, it was a very negative experience, right? Because most people were required to be under lockdown, right? Stay at home. And, at least here in the United States, unless you were an essential worker, right, you were pretty much required to stay at home, or highly encouraged, I should say, to stay at home, right, to slow down the spread. Now, of course, the spread was affecting a lot of people, and I understand a lot of people's lives were affected and a lot of families were affected. So my heart goes out to everyone that was affected by their. In the case of the pandemic, it was no surprise that across the board, right, divorces were skyrocketing because, couples were occupied with working and traveling and doing all these things. And so then because of lockdown, because everyone is now home, people are fighting, getting into arguments, things like that, which led to a lot of divorces, et cetera, et cetera. So for most people, it was a very negative experience. For myself, of course, you can make the case that there were some parts of it that wasn't the best. However, for the most part, for me, it was a positive experience because the way I looked at it, right, from my perspective, I had just graduated from college a year and a half, 2 years ago, and I was the only person um, to go away for school, right? Like I went to school upstate, so it was about a 4 to 5 hour drive away from home, and of course I was there for all 4 years. So for me, it was a good time because one, I was able to stay home and play video games. Like I enjoyed playing video games and all that stuff. But two, it was important for me, and it was a great time for me because then I felt like I was finally able to catch up on lost time with my family. Felt like I was able to have conversation with them that I normally didn't have, and I was able to learn more about them, ask them how their lives was going, right? Because oftentimes we take things for granted, right? Like you may live with family and each and every person in the household may be doing their own thing, and you might have like minor dialogue here and there, but you may not always have like deep conversations of truly understanding, that person, who they are, why they do the things the way that they do, asking about, even myself, I was curious more about like my own, mother's history and even my own childhood that I had questions about, right? So it was, I finally had the opportunity to make up for lost time because it was hard for me being away from school for 4 years, and it was hard for my family to have me away for 4 years. So, of course, with all of the negatives that came with the pandemic, for me overall, it was a positive experience because I was finally able to get a break from the world. It felt like before the pandemic hit, everyone wanted a break from the world. Everyone wanted a reason to just stay home and not have to commute to work or not have to go to work or any of that stuff. And then when people get that opportunity because of the pandemic, they're just complaining and fighting and arguing, right? So it's like some people you could just never please, right? But for me, that is a case where I made that condition serve me because I could have easily been complaining and pulling my hair out and punching the wall or something out of frustration. But instead, for me, I used it as a time to make up for lost time with my family and also to learn. Like that's when I dove into these self-development studies because I wanted to better myself and bring out the best version of myself. So that was like the beginning of my journey back then to 5 years later, here we are now. So that's what I mean of an example of a condition that I made a condition serve me. I didn't look at the lockdown, the pandemic, and say and just lose my mind, right? Like I said, you know what? Like this is actually a good thing. So that's my question to you. What if you were able to view everything in your life that's going on in your life as it being a good thing, right? Like, what if you reflected on all of the conditions, all your set of circumstances right now in your life, regardless of how undesirable it may seem in this given moment? What if you were to look at it and say, you know what? It's actually a good thing. How different do you think you'd be operating? How different do you think you'd be living your life? You probably wouldn't be living your life waking up every day pissed off that things aren't the way they are, because you understand that even if things may not be exactly how you want them to be, you can still view them from a better lens. You can still view it as it being there for your advantage, right? Because if there's something that's undesirable, that can help. It'll help you not only clarify on what it is that you do want, it can also help create the desire and the hunger for you to go after what it is that you actually want, right? So it's never actually a bad thing. See, oftentimes people will see things unfold in their life and they'll get angry at this thing and say, well, why can't it be this? Be grateful for it, because even if it's not what it is that you want, that means you now have the power to push towards what it is that you want. That means you now can get clear in your mind on what it is that you actually want and look forward to that, right? Being able to make space for that, right? You can make all of your conditions serve you. It's no different in sports. If you play sports and you lose, if you play sports, you can lose every single game. This is the game of basketball, right? Let's just say you lose every single game by 100 points, right? Every single basketball game you play. You can have that serve you because you can look at that as a measuring stick and say, you know what? I love the game of basketball, and clearly I'm and my team are getting decimated by everyone. That means we have a long way to go. That means we have so much more that we can improve on and get better, right? That is how you allow a condition to serve you, because some people can look at that and say, I'm a loser at basketball. I suck. It's not meant for me. I give up. You can say that. You can do that. Or you can say, you know what? It's time to go to the lab. Like, we got some work to do, right? You can do that. People, right? Like, it's no different than if you're on a fitness journey, right? Oftentimes people, if they're not in their dream shape, or let's just say they let themselves go, and that's okay, right? It's okay if you let yourself go. I'm here to tell you it's okay that you let yourself go, because it's always an opportunity for you to get into shape. And that is a condition that will serve you, because it's fun going on that journey, progressing towards your goal, right? Because that's when you're your happiest. You don't have to look at yourself if you're insecure about your body. You don't have to look at yourself and be so mad and frustrated and angry. It's okay. I promise you it's okay. You can have that serve you. That's not preventing you from getting to where it is that you want to go. If anything, it's going to make the journey that much sweeter towards where it is that you want to be at, because then when you get there, you'll see how hard you work to get there. You'll see a big difference, right? There's so many stories of people who've been financially broke, who didn't have anything, that got their way to riches, right? That they made it because they didn't let their condition dictate who they were, right? They didn't look at the bank statement, see $500 as their net worth, and say, oh, that's all I'm worth, $500. I'm not good enough. They didn't see that. They looked at that and they probably smiled and laughed, because they told themselves, you know what? That's not an accurate reflection of who I am and what I can do and what I can offer to this world. It's not an accurate reflection. So why would I be fixated on that? That it doesn't represent me. It doesn't represent you. You are powerful beyond measure. There's no amount of numbers or digits on a digital screen banking app that can ever determine your worth, because money can always be created. More digits can always be added to your bank statement, right? These are electronic like numbers, right? These are pixels on the screen. Actual physical money, right? This right here, this like just like this $1 bill, right? Physical money, this right here can always be printed. Anything happens to the dollar bill, it can always be printed again. They can never make a carbon perfect one copy, one of one for you, right? Carbon copy, they can never do that for you. There will never be someone who is going to be a perfect one-to-one match of you. There might be some people on the planet that look like you. There might be some people on the planet who might have a similar personality. There might be some people on the planet who, have similar behavior or similar interests as you, but there'll never be someone who's an identical copy of you. You are powerful beyond measure. You are worthy because you exist, right? Let's just say that you are worthy for all it is that you could ever want and ask, because you exist, because you're here now. So this is why you don't want to allow your circumstances or your conditions dictate your life, right? You want to be the one in control. You are the creator. You created those set of circumstances. And if they're not to your liking, that's okay. You can tap into that same power and create what it is that you want, right? There's no need for you to be discouraged, right? You right now, as you're watching this video, as I'm speaking into the camera, you are in the perfect place. You are exactly where you need to be. Because even if it's not your dream place, you've created that dream in your mind, and it's already been given to you. Immediately, the second you ask, has already been given. So you know it's well on your way, because you deserve it and you want it, and so you're going to be given it, right? So just have fun. Enjoy the journey. You're going to get to your destination. Somehow, some way, you will get there. You will arrive. So have fun along the way, right? And regardless of what happens in your life, just know that you created those set of conditions, those circumstances, and make it all serve you, right? Make it all serve you, because you can, right? It doesn't matter how bad something seems, how bad a situation is, right? It doesn't matter if you love cooking and your dream is to open up a restaurant. It doesn't matter if you don't have the money, right? That is just a condition. That is just a set of circumstances, right? You may not have the money now, but you can have the money tomorrow and that can all change. Or you might not even need the money to get the location. Maybe there might be someone who is looking for a partner. They'll put all the money up front and they just need someone with a concept, with a menu that can provide great food to help, right? Like, you don't know what exists out there. You don't know. So this is why make all the conditions serve you, right? Smile all the time, because you know, even if something isn't to your liking, you created what it is that you want. So that's reason to get excited for. And if something great happens in your life, something that you want to happen unfolds for you, then you have reason to smile as well. So regardless, it's all working in your favor, right? Things in your life don't happen to you, they happen for you, for your greater good, for your enjoyment, for your betterment. So appreciate it all and appreciate the journey. And don't let conditions stop you. Make all the conditions in your life serve you. I wraps up the video. Enjoy the video. Do leave a like and subscribe as we're all on the road, guys. 2 million subscribers as always. So once again, it's Joel, and I'm out. I'll see you guys for the next video.